Hey everybody, this is Jimmy. The last couple days I've been really kind of increasingly put off by some of the commentary and political rhetoric that I've been seeing on Facebook. People, really getting pretty ugly. And I have to confess and admit, at times over the last several years of using Facebook, that I've been ugly and said ugly things, and looking back at it, I wonder how much of the things I've said that have been kind of ugly or rude or backhanded or sarcastic or kind of put downish. I wonder how many of those things I've said simply because I just have the ability to freely type something on Facebook in kind of almost a semi-anonymous way, even though you see my picture and you see my name and you know who I am. But I wonder how much of the commentary and the things we say on Facebook, politically, religiously, philosophically, or even just jokes and things of that nature, how many of the things we would say if we were actually going to be individuals who captured ourselves saying them. My guess is that you and me and everybody else might be a little less of a jerk, to say the least, if we were simply to videotape and broadcast live our thoughts and comments on a daily basis, instead of just quipping off whatever thought just pops into our mind. So I'm going to try to, over the next little while, engage in a little social experiment on myself and see if I can't share my thoughts more frequently simply using Facebook Live or something of that nature. And I would encourage you to consider doing the same, that instead of getting up there and saying comments that are political, religious, philosophical in nature, and being downright rude about it, I almost wonder if we might bring a little humanity back to Facebook simply by, broadcasting ourselves live, saying what we say. We might be a little less ballsy and daring and rude and cunning in our speech. And, we might actually, instead of thinking of somebody as some stupid libtard or snowflake or, whatever the catchphrase of the day is, maybe we might actually treat each other kindly, nicely, respectfully, as human beings created in the image of God, who aren't dingleberries, who aren't idiots, who aren't jerks, and something like that. And maybe we can start taking each other a little more seriously. Of course, I could be totally wrong, and this could be the worst idea that I've ever had in my entire life, and I might say some things, and you might say some things that are broadcast via Facebook Live that are just completely inappropriate. But maybe we can bring a little humanity back, because I feel like sometimes Facebook becomes nothing but a shouting match, and people just screaming at each other, and they're screaming at each other because, well, frankly, they're something of a coward, and they say things on Facebook that they would probably never say to your face if they were actually talking to you in a room. Of course, they might. People are people at the end of the day, and if people feel pushed enough or confronted enough, they may just spout something off crazy. But I thought, hey, if I do this, maybe we can bring a little accountability and humanity back to our civil discourses on Facebook. So anyway, this is Jimmy Humphrey, just engaging in a little social experiment for the next little while. I don't know how often I'll do this, but I'm going to challenge myself to do it as often as possible and to type my comments a lot less. Or if I do type comments, it'll only be comments that correspond to what I have actually broadcast as a person going live on Facebook. So anyway, I hope that you will live up to that challenge and say, hey, instead of just posting random crap on Facebook that may be inflammatory and crazy and over the top and, saying things that I probably would never say in person, I'm going to only post that which, I'm willing to put my voice and face, out there for. So anyway, this is Jimmy. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the challenge.